So, Alex, first of all, this Friday, this is kind of what it's all about, right? I mean, you look at two really good programs, unbeaten for supremacy right now in the Eastern Cincinnati Conference. How fun is a Friday night in a game like this?
Oh, this is exactly what you play for. This is what our guys have been dreaming of since they were the youth down here and we were running through the tunnel and they were 6 years old. Football is best when it's played in a community feel against a worthy opponent and feeling like there's a lot on the line. I think our kids practiced all summer and played all summer for these types of moments. And in the ECC, we get a couple of them a year, and that's pretty awesome. And this is definitely one of them, and it's stacked up to be 4-0 and 4-0. So what a blessing.
Well, you mentioned the ECC, and I don't think it's very often you find a league where you go 2021, Kings won it, 2022, Winton Woods, 23, Milford, and last year, Anderson. I mean, and that's unusual, and it's been really top. These teams at the top of the ECC every year have been really good teams.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's one of the best parts about our off season is that we don't get to focus on one or two teams. These guys know they're up in the weight room right now, and I hear them hooting and hollering because they know that the long game is we got to be in great shape, we got to be strong, we got to be ready to play this Friday and next Friday and the next Friday, and yeah, this one's a fun one and a big game and all that kind of stuff. But in the ECC, there are no time off. So.
Well, correct me, you won in 2021, 9-0. Then you went out early in the playoffs. You finished second the next year, and you made it to the state semifinals.
That's right.
So, I mean, and I think Winton Woods did that too, where they didn't win the league and they won a state championship. So, I mean, that's really indicative of this league. Let's talk about your team. You're off to a 4-0 start. Obviously, the big one that points out right now, I'm beating Loveland, that's a big rival game for you guys. But the win over Winton Woods for an early victory to kind of establish us as, okay, we're a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, absolutely. The unique thing about this group is last year we did lose some star power. We had a couple guys are playing in Division 1A football. So on paper, it looks like we lost a lot of players, and we did. And God, I'd love to have some of them back. But 16 of these kids played a lot of football last year. So and 6 or 7 of them played a lot when they were sophomores. So we've got a lot of guys who have played a lot of football. And, Grant Nuri's on his, 25 plus start as a quarterback. And we know that makes a big difference. And so, a lot of our guys on defense are playing really, really strong football and making it hard on offenses. And then by the time we go over offense, we can run the ball. We've got 4, we think maybe our best receiving core we've ever had. So just being able to spread the ball around and do what the defense gives us, it's added up to be a pretty good year so far.
Well, keep it right there. Talk about some of the guys on offense for you that are really keys.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, like I said, Grant's a 3-year starter at quarterback, and this year he's come in with a lot of confidence. He worked really, really hard in the offseason, put on another 20, 30 pounds, and is fast and strong, and he's our leader. And he knows that. He knows that's what comes with the role of quarterback. But Max Lockwood is playing tailback and doing awesome. He can do just about anything on offense. We got a lot of returning offensive linemen. But I think what's key right now is we have 4 receivers, and we feel like if they're not taking one of them away, we'll feature that kid. We think we can get it to Jackson Frisk. Week 1, we were chucking bombs to him because they didn't have anybody over top. Then we go to Andrew Lyman week 2 a whole bunch of times on some breakoff routes, and then week 3, we throw the ball to Nathan Tucker every play, it feels like, because they had a guy who was 15 yards back and he was just chunking yards. So I think, in that way, it's nice to feel like Grant knows I've got weapons. We can turn and give the ball to Max as often as we want, and he can chunk yards or get it out to the guys who make things happen.
And defensively, obviously, I know Winton Woods racked up some yards, but you were able, including a tenuous, probably scary for a coach, last drive, right, that wound up on your 4-yard line. But the reality of it is, points-wise, you've really done a good job of what's that bend, don't break?
Bend, don't break.
Has that been kind of the MO of this defense?
Well, yeah. I mean, in reality, in high school football, and it's even true for us, like it's hard to put together 12-play drives without a penalty or a turnover or a loss of 2, and then you're looking at 2nd and 12 or a 3rd and 8. Like those things stack up in football. And so, even last week against West Claremont, we faced, probably one of the best running backs we'll see this year. And he got some yards. He broke off 7 here and 10 here and 15 there. But but they didn't let him break any big ones. And so, you know, when we're forcing teams to go all the way down the field, keep everything in front of us and tackle well, and I think we have the team to do that.
Now, the good news is you're 4-0, 3-0 in the league.
Yep.
Maybe some of the more troubling news is when you look at Anderson, not a lot of weakness.
Yeah.
They won 20 straight regular season games,
yeah.
which is a ton. Obviously went to the state final last year, and were it not for bad weather, probably would have been state champs.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at this team, offensively, they lost a ton, but a lot of these guys played in games last year, so they have a lot of game experience. And on defense, I mean, they're averaging single digits in 4 games, and they gave up, an average of 10 per game last year.
Right.
What are your biggest concerns other than just the obvious looking at Anderson?
Well, Evan does a wonderful job spreading the ball around. He's trying to get every one of his ball players a touch. He can always have a quarterback that can run. He's trying to go shorts and longs and middles and cross the field. I mean, he's gonna attack everything with everyone. And that's not a personnel thing. That's a scheme thing, and he does it really well. So it's on our defense to understand that it's not we're not keying on one person or one player or even one combination of routes. Like, he's going to attack it all. And our guys have to be ready for all of that and make sure we're making the quarterback feel a little uncomfortable.
How much on pace? Because I know they run a quick tempo.
Yeah.
You know, and I know I talked to some folks from Cooper who they played week 1. And Cooper is a really good football team, made it to the state final last 2 years. And they talked about just that pace and how difficult. It was 8-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
Wound up 52-10. Yeah. So the second half they wore down, and they admitted that.
Well, you can't emulate it in practice. And if you've never seen it, then it's hard to even understand what you're getting into. And again, these guys have seen it now for a couple of years. Evan's been over there for about 10 years. So I think we understand what it's going to look like, but feel like is a different story. So it's not something you can emulate in practice, and it adds to their scheme. It's very dynamic in who they're getting the ball to, where they're getting the ball, and then how fast they're doing it. And, you know, they never punt, and, you know, they'll go for it no matter where they are. And so just a lot of the parts of the game are unique when you play Anderson that are not the same against a lot of other teams.
I have 2 final questions. Yeah. One about you. I found out something today I didn't know, and that's that you don't yell. That's a very rare characteristic of a head football coach at any level today. So is that have you always been that way? And do you never yell?
No, I haven't always been that way, but I don't think it was ever natural. And so then,
did you seem like a fake when you were yelling?
Probably. Okay. You know, I don't know. I never asked the players that back then, but you know, AO told me, Andy Olds, when I was getting the job, he was like, "You just have to be yourself." And I realized after even trying a couple of those rah-rah moments, it's just not me. And if I get there and I yell, and it happens maybe twice a season, it means something. You know, I don't fake it, so they know, like, oh, okay, this must be a big deal right now. And so I try to not save it, but I try to let it be natural. And if it's there, then it's there.
So is your once or twice, is it motivational, or is it when something occurs that you determine is egregious by your football team?
That's a good question. It's probably not either. It's probably something that I just am really passionate about. And it's hard to know exactly what those things are. It's generally some sort of, I guess it's probably the second one. Some sort of selfishness, some sort of lack of team mentality, some sort of, lack of humility or arrogance or something like that. Those things that I just know don't work in football.
Now, it's pretty cool here at Kings. I mean, the stadium's the same, but there's a lot going on. New high school being constructed, new athletic facilities. So would your advice be to people coming Friday night, kickoff 7 o'clock, leave now?
Yeah.
Is that?
I would definitely get here early, but the main high school parking lot and the hospital have plenty of parking. You just might have to walk a little bit.
Which is one of our presenting sponsor, Mercy Health. We have the Orthopaedics and Sports Med, and they're right here. So we can target some people in there. But it's going to be packed. It's a great atmosphere. And I know you love being a part of the Skyline Chili Crosstown Showdown. And this is the kind of game. I mean, last week we had Lakota West Princeton, kind of GMC.
Oh, yeah.
Next week we've got Elder St. X. This, of course, ECC. What does it mean for your program to continue to be one of these games?
You know, it's a blessing, and I really am trying not to take it for granted, because in Cincinnati, high school football is a big deal, and community-based athletics in my eyes, is what we're in this business for. And so to have an opportunity to put these guys who they work so hard, and they don't, it's not an accident that they've put themselves in this position, but they're here, and I don't want them to miss it. I don't want to miss it. You have to soak up that kind of environment and know that, when you're not playing high school football anymore, it's not here anymore.
So final question, Eric Taylor is your athletic director here at Kings. He's a pretty accomplished football coach who spent many years in the Skyline Chili Crosstown Showdown at CHCA. So how often does he require a sit-down skull session with you? Does he ever go, hey, man, in the second quarter on this? Now, I know you're busy as an AD on Friday night, but does he still get a little of that in with you?
Only when he wants to. It's never been out of conflict, fortunately. But he still loves football. But what's great about Eric is he really is very passionate about all of our sports here, which is why he eventually left football and got into athletic directing. If him and I want to talk football or talk recruiting or things like that, he loves it because he still loves the game. But he's just as happy to talk about how our girls soccer team is doing, or our volleyball team might make another run at the state championship, or fill in the blank. I think when you've got an athletic director who sees the value in all of them, it's a blessing for me, but it's a blessing for all of them too. So it's fun.
Good news. We'll keep him busy for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tonight. There you go. He won't. He'll miss some of the game.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Appreciate you guys.